Today on the Scran line, I'm going to show you guys how to make an easy homemade pecan pie. This thing is so deliciously nutty and caramelly, and that flaky pie crust is really easy to make as well. This recipe is perfect for the holiday season, and I want to show you just how easy it is to make right now. Let's begin with the pie crust. Now, I've got some of my easy pie crust recipe here. I'm just going to need half of that recipe for this particular pie. The leftover pie dough that you make from that recipe, you can just pop it in the freezer and use it another time. Dust your workbench really generously with flour. That's going to help stop your pie dough from sticking to your workbench. I'm a little bit extra with my pie dough. I like to sprinkle some extra flour on top, on both sides actually. A little bit on the rolling pin, and then we're going to begin rolling. As you roll out your pie dough, you're going to notice that these little cracks form on the edges. You just want to pinch those together as you're rolling out your pie dough just to keep it nice and neat. We're going to be using a 9-inch pie dish today, so you want to make sure that you roll this out to at least 12 inches in diameter. Rather than lifting this up and trying to put it on the pie dish without ripping it, we're just going to use our rolling pin to help us get it on there. So we're going to roll one end of our pie dough onto our rolling pin and keep rolling it over itself. Pop your pie dish in front of you, and as evenly as you can, you're just going to unroll it on top of your pie dish. Easy. Rather than stretching the dough to the bottom of your pie dish, you want to lift the sides and gently encourage it to naturally fall in there. If you stretch your pie dough, it will shrink as it bakes, and you definitely don't want it shrinking. I'm going to use some scissors, but you can use a knife if you like, to cut off the excess around the sides, but you want to leave about 1 inch of this dough around the sides. So I'm going to show you how to neaten the sides up. It looks really, really cool. All right, so once you've done that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be folding the edges at the top of your pie dough in on itself. Again, not a race, so do it nice and slowly so you can get it as neat as possible. As you're doing this, guys, make sure that you're not stretching or lifting the pie dough from the bottom of the dish. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that, because you really don't want this to be misshapen. You want it to be nice and neat. Right, well, if you wanted to, you could leave this as is, but I actually want to add a little bit of decoration around the sides. So I'm going to grab a fork, and we are just going to gently do a crinkle effect around the sides. Just as a little bit of extra neatness, I'm going to use a sharp knife to gently slice away any excess dough around the sides. This is ready to go in the fridge for 30 minutes, and I'm going to take you guys over to my stove to make the filling. Quickly checking into the video, guys, to make sure you're enjoying today's recipe. If you are, hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell icon next to that to make sure that you're notified as soon as there's a new recipe video. Back to the recipe. Add the butter and brown sugar to a medium-sized saucepan and place it on medium heat. You want to mix that until the butter melts and the sugar melts as well, and everything becomes smooth. Remove that from the heat and whisk in the corn syrup. Let's bring this off the stove, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt in here just for some extra flavor. A good splash of vanilla extract, and by splash you guys know what I mean. If you're a regular watcher of this channel, I'm not shy with my vanilla. Oh, it smells so delicious. One of the things that makes this dessert so delicious and tasty is the zest. I'm going to be adding some orange zest, so half an orange, and it's just going to add this like extra depth of flavor, which is, I don't know, I'm obsessed with orange zest in desserts lately. It's just so delicious. Over here I've got 4 eggs which I whisked up, and we're going to very, very slowly add this to the very, very hot syrup mixer that we've just made. And guys, be careful, because if you add this in too quickly, it will scramble the eggs, and I'm talking from experience. So we have all of our eggs in, thank God they didn't scramble. Now what these eggs are gonna do is they're just basically gonna help set this pie and make it something that kind of stays together instead of an ooey gooey mess when you cut into it. Okay, let's set this aside. I'm gonna show you the final step. So our pie crust has been chilling in the fridge for 30 minutes. The first thing we're gonna do is actually pour in some pecans. So what I've actually done, I've got 2 bowls of pecans. A bowl of pecans, the nice whole ones, and then just the rest of the pecans. So let's pour the big bowl of pecans in, and we're going to just spread them out evenly. And then we are going to just pour this mixture on top. So nice and evenly. These whole pecans, what we're gonna do is, and this is completely optional by the way, it's a little bit time consuming. By the way, you can see those pecans are kind of rising to the top already. We're gonna be laying these on top of the caramel in like a nice kind of pattern, starting on the outside until you get to the center. So that's looking nice and beautiful, completely optional by the way. The last thing we're gonna do is actually brush this with some egg wash. So I've just made some egg wash with 1 egg and a tablespoon of water and then just whisked it together. We're going to gently brush the sides of our pie with this stuff. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna add a little bit of shine and it's gonna make it go a little bit more golden. Have I mentioned how amazing this smells, guys? This is gonna go in the oven for 40 minutes. Once it's baked, take it out of the oven, let it cool down completely, and we're gonna come back and I'm gonna do a taste test. Time to dig in, guys. That is so good. It's so nutty and caramelly, but the best thing is that orange zest, so good. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, guys, because it lets me know that you're actually enjoying these new videos. I have another video that you can watch over there. Click on that if you want to watch more deliciousness, and above that is a subscribe button. Hit that and then hit the little bell icon so that you're notified when there's a new video. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of the Scran Line. Bye!